It was on this day that we lost one of the greatest reptile and animal enthusiasts in the whole entire world. Steve Irwin was a great legacy, and he will deeply be missed. What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be making a video on Steve Irwin because yesterday was his birthday. So happy birthday, Steve Irwin, and condolences to his family. So what I want to talk about is Steve Irwin. What can I say? What couldn't I say? Steve Irwin is, in my opinion, one of the greatest animal enthusiasts in the entire world, and it was tragic the way that he died. Because on the news and everything, you'd always say, "Man, one day he's gonna get his arm bitten off by a crocodile or bit by a snake or something." But a stingray, you would have never thought, you know? And it's just like everyone in the reptile community looks up to him, especially me. Like, I know I say my grandpa got me into reptiles, but I grew up watching him on Animal Planet, and he changed my perspective on everything on life. Like, he makes me want to be a better person each and every single day. And I know sometimes I lose my temper a little bit, but I apologize for all of that. Like Steve Irwin, he one thing, I was watching one of his episodes a long time ago because apparently they stopped airing his shows on Animal Planet anymore, which is dumb because his show is like one of the greatest ones on there. I was watching the episode of all the moments he had with his father, Bob Irwin, when he was little, when he went to school. As he walked to school, whenever he saw a snake or a lizard passing the road or something, he'd pick it up and just play with it and then walk back to school. Or after school hours, he'd work with his dad at the zoo. And I know, guys, I say a lot, sorry. But he would work with his dad, go catching crocodiles for people who need them removed from certain places. And I remember the episode I was watching. I think he was 13 years old, which is just a little bit younger than me. He jumped his first crocodile out in the wild. Now, remember, guys, this is out in the wild. This is not one of the crocodiles at a zoo that has been handled a lot more. And his dad says, "Go jump, jump, I believe in you." He jumps the croc. For about 10 minutes, he's struggling to get it onto the boat. So finally he says, "Just let it go of it." And his dad jumps in and grabs the croc. And he said that that was one of the greatest moments of his life, because that's when he finally truly learned the power and intelligence of a crocodile. Now, another point. Man, I just haven't. There's so many things I could say about him. It's just not enough to put in one video, guys. But the next thing I want to say to him is he loved his family. And I feel bad for Bindi and Robert Irwin, which are his kids. They have to go through life knowing that they had one of the greatest dads on the planet. And he's gone. I would kill to have a dad like that. Not saying anything bad about my dad, but he's not the greatest dad in the world. But I feel so bad for them because, just think about it. Think in your head if you had one of the greatest men on the planet be your father, and that have to live out through every single day knowing he's not there to teach you, to guide you through life, to teach you his ways with the animals. That's it just blows my mind. If Steve Irwin was my dad, I don't know what I would have done losing him, you know? And think about it. He died when his kids were at such a young age. I think Robert was only 2 or 3, and Bindi was 7 or 8 years old. Yeah. And then the next point I want to make is his travelings. He has been to so many parts of the world. More than anybody I've known. He's been to Australia. Well, he lives in Australia, obviously, but he's been to Florida, America, South America, Africa, Indonesia, Madagascar. All these different places he's been to, traveling, exploring, finding different animals even he's never seen before. Now, that is just a crazy thing to explain, you guys. Like, he's handled some of the most dangerous animals in the world. Black mambas, king cobras, brown snakes, taipans, tiger sharks, alligators, crocodiles, tigers, elephants, all these different animals he has handled before. And his father, it was like the one who taught him the ways. But I guess there was just something inside Steve Irwin that made him want to go farther than his father. Because, like, don't get me wrong. His father is an amazing person. He's the one who got him into this stuff. But there's just something that tapped inside Steve Irwin's head that made him say, I want to take another step forward, which is something that I never thought could be done. Like, I know I'm saying this when I was like 6 years old when I watched him, but like now as I'm older, I truly understand what everything he said, everything he did meant. It's crazy though. Like there's so much stuff I can say about him, I just can't get the words out, guys. If you notice, I'm like kind of pausing here and there at the moments, you know? Like, and also his wife. I watched the episode where he showed how he met Terry and all of that. So he was doing a show at the zoo, and he sees this girl, which is Terry, and he's like, oh my gosh, that's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. And Terry is American, so she worked with stuff like cougars and raccoons and stuff like that. And in Terry's mind, she's like, this guy is crazy handling a 16-foot crocodile. And he walks up to her and says, hi, my name's Steve. What's your name? And like, I don't have the full story. He kind of like skips a few details in the episode. And it goes on to them, you know, dating, getting married. Oh, and that's another thing. As he's getting married, he says, I was so nervous, I would have rather handled that 16-foot croc than get married. And the thing is, though, is that was one of the best things that ever happened to him, was marrying Terry. Because then they went on to have Bendy, which, by the way, Bendy, he named Bendy after his dog Bendy and a crocodile, Bendy. And then, but the saddest part, I feel bad for Bendy, but I feel even more bad for Robert, because, like, he died at such a young age for Robert. Like, at least Bendy had a few years to, like, bond with him, to get to know him, to do all this stuff with him. For Robert, he died at, like, the age of 3. And it's all because of one minor mistake. And that's one thing I love about Steve Irwin. Every time he got bit, every time he got scratched, every time anything happened to him with an animal, he never blamed the animal. He blamed himself. And that's the thing I want to get the point across is, if you see an animal out in the wild, don't run up to it and try to shoot it or hit it with a shovel. If it's not bothering you, don't bother it. It's not harming you. And now, I could understand if it's coming towards you, just walk away or run away. Don't try to freaking kill it. Like, that's just stupid. And then, what was I saying before that? Oh yeah, so he never blamed the animal, he blamed himself. Because he knew he was taking the risk of getting that close to the animal. So, I'm sure if he would have survived, which we all wish he would have said himself on camera, it was my fault, I shouldn't have got that close to the stingray, I should have known better. And so, yeah. And then the reason he died is, now I'm not blaming him. Never would ever do that in a million years. But as he gets to, like, land or the boat or wherever he got to, he tries to pull the barb, because that's what the barbs have their poison is, and there's barb at the end of their tails. And he tries to pull the barb out of his chest himself, and that's what killed him. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, that's all I just wanted to talk about was happy birthday, Steve Irwin. And I wanted to talk about this amazing man that I wish I had met. Hopefully one day I'll be able to meet his family. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. And I will see you guys in the next video. Check you guys later. Peace.